Have you ever imagined a battle between humans and giant birds? Sounds strange, right? But believe it or not, it happened in 1932 in Australia. This is the story of the Great Emu War, which might be more ridiculous than you can imagine. But how could humans lose to these giant birds? Let's dive deeper and find out. Welcome to Think Bite. In 1932, Western Australia faced an unusual problem. Amid the Great Depression, which began in the United States in 1929 and spread worldwide, including Australia, Australian farmers started planting wheat on their fertile lands. However, an unexpected army arrived: emus. The emu is the second largest bird in the world, after the ostrich, standing nearly 2 meters tall and weighing between 40 and 60 kilograms. Emus are surprisingly agile despite their size. They have strong legs and can run at speeds of up to 50 kilometers per hour and even jump up to 2 meters high. These massive birds began to destroy wheat crops in large numbers. It's estimated that over 20,000 emus trampled agricultural land, eating crops planted by farmers. This event took place when emus were migrating from coastal areas to inland regions to breed. They moved toward the farmland, which was abundant in food, making it ideal for nesting. The emu attacks severely damaged the wheat fields, and they also broke through fences, allowing rabbits to enter and further devastate the crops. In November 1932, to address this issue, the Australian government deployed 2 military units, led by Lieutenant Colonel George W. Pierce, to tackle this bird invasion. The soldiers arrived armed with Lewis machine guns, renowned for their high firepower and effectiveness in situations like this. They also brought about 10,000 rounds of ammunition to ensure the battle would be effective. With machine guns and that much ammunition, they hoped to defeat the tens of thousands of emus that were destroying the farmland. Their initial strategy was to launch an open attack using machine guns to wipe out the emus in large numbers. But little did they know, they would face unexpected challenges. Emus, it turns out, weren't an easy enemy to defeat. The soldiers encountered many difficulties while trying to handle this foe. Despite arriving with machine guns and a prepared strategy, the soldiers never anticipated that the emus would be a much more challenging opponent than they had expected. The soldiers faced thousands of emus moving at incredible speeds and quickly adapting to the attacks. These large birds were not only capable of running at high speeds, but they also had extraordinary physical endurance, making it hard to defeat. The soldiers found it difficult to chase them across the vast open terrain. On the other hand, emus knew how to avoid gunfire, moving in very unpredictable ways. This forced the soldiers to change their strategies multiple times. After several weeks of fighting, the Great Emu War had to be called off in December 1932. Despite the Australian soldiers making various efforts in deploying machine guns, they failed to achieve their goal of controlling the emu population that was damaging the farmlands. Initially, they were optimistic, hoping the military assault would soon resolve this major problem. However, the reality proved to be far more complicated. The soldiers faced the fact that the massive emu population and the incredible agility of these birds made them almost impossible to eliminate effectively. Many of the emus managed to escape, and the machine guns that were supposed to be effective in open combat failed to produce significant results. Even when some EMUs were shot, the remaining birds continued to devour the wheat fields, causing further destruction. In the end, the soldiers not only lost momentum, but also wasted a lot of energy and resources that could have been used to address more pressing issues. The Australian government eventually decided to withdraw the troops and acknowledge that they would not win in this strange battle. With heavy hearts, the Great Emu War ended without a victory for humans, and the emus remained a threat to farmers in the region. Although the Great Emu War ended in defeat for humans, Australia ultimately decided to take other steps to control the emu population. The Australian government realized that a military approach would not solve the problem. Even though the soldiers had tried to defeat the emus with machine guns, these birds remained unchecked, continuing to destroy wheat crops in ever-increasing numbers. As a result, the government began to consider more practical and effective solutions to handle the emu threat. One of the first measures taken was to build stronger and taller electric fences around farmland. These fences were specifically designed to prevent emus from entering protected areas. The electric fences were installed with the purpose of using electrical energy as a barrier to stop emus from getting close to the crops. In addition to electric fences, the government also introduced the use of stronger and more durable netting, which was placed around farmlands. The netting served to close off areas that emus previously accessed freely, blocking their path to farmlands that were still growing crops. This solution was hoped to be more effective than machine guns, which had failed to significantly reduce the emu numbers. With the fences and netting in place, the government hoped to limit the emus' access to their food sources so they wouldn't destroy crops anymore, leading to fewer losses for farmers. Eventually, the emu population could be controlled using methods more suited to the natural conditions of the area. The Great Emu War teaches us that nature often has a smarter way of handling things than humans do. Although humans may have weapons and technology, sometimes nature holds the advantage in terms of endurance and adaptability. Who would have thought that a bird considered harmless could lead to such a major failure for the military? So, who do you think really won the Great Emu War? The emus or the Australian soldiers? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this bite of knowledge, hit that like button, subscribe, and feed your brain one bite at a time.